may this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the BusinessMirror podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopace.
I'm Dennis Estopace, and welcome to Tuesdays with Tito, a podcast to be anchored by Tito Valiente, one of the 100 honorees in the Centenary of Philippine Cinema and columnist for the BusinessMirror newspaper. Mr. Valiente will share with us one of the many pieces he wrote for his column titled Annotations, which is published every Friday in the op-ed section of the BusinessMirror. We hope you enjoy your Tuesday with Tito.
For the time being, Richard Quinney is a sociologist, and he has authored many books in sociology and social theories. As a sociologist, he writes a book about ethnography, which is commonly known as a systematic study of cultures, using a methodology that allows the social scientist to take into account the total description of cultures. And ethnography is considered to be more encompassing, limited as it is not by questions to ask, and the manner of encoding the answers common in surveys, interviews, and structured observation. Still, the new anthropologists and sociologists as well are feeling how rigid certain theories and methodologies are, that we end up framing realities and individuals, describing communities, following the structures we create to facilitate our knowledge of others. What therefore appears to be a liberating approach to describing realities is really a theoretical underpinning that, once more, reminds us that we can only see so much, write so much about what we see, or write so little. Quinney thus explains the book he wrote, which bears the title For the Time Being, an ethnography of everyday life. He tells us the book is about the passing of time. The passing of time involves the writer as well. The writer writes about the time, the things that are happening within time, or anything that the writer feels is enclosed in that time. And yet, the writer can always step out of that time. Every day, we make sense of life, of those sets of actions that spell life. As we look at the sea, for example, we're looking at the body of water. When we write about that day, it is possible that we remember that day as the day we left for some place. The day becomes a place. Then we pass by the sea and remember that day. The sea disappears because maybe we do not write about the sea. The decision to write is the decision also to describe something to a point. When you leave, you do not need the sea. You could write about something else, or not write anything at all. When you go back to days, you do not go back to that day. That is unwritten or has not been written. Anything that exists arises from the everyday. Quoting Henry Lefebvre, the French Marxist philosopher, Quinney defines for us that everyday life of ours as, quote, the most universal and the most unique condition, the most social and the most individuated, the most obvious and the best hidden. Quinney goes on, and I quote, we work, we play, we sleep, we love, we walk the streets from place to place, such an ordinary existence. But if we let the ordinary escape our attention and our care, we miss life itself. Unquote. For Quinney, much depends upon the mundane. Or there is no mundane at all. With imagination, the mundane and the sublime are one. I was at the gate of the mundane as I wrote this article one evening. With the rains gone, my nephew came in from a long ride from his office. He was carrying food and it was only for him. He asked me to eat with him, but I knew he bought the food with his taste and hunger in his mind. I was not hungry, but I still wanted him to ask me to eat with him. He did ask me, and I politely said I was not hungry. As he was eating, he told me the old lady a few doors from us had died already. When we talk of shifts and changes, we never talk about life. We talk about death. The change has to be about death. We forget the in-between, the waking hours, the movement, the life from one life to another life. In the morning, when we wake up, do we look around and check the skies? Perhaps we do, but waking up, as we move from sleepiness to wakefulness, what songs are there? What memories accompany us from the bed to the porch? Beside me now is a pouch of salted crackers and a cup of coffee. I am writing, but there is also the sound of the faucet. Leaks. My white shirt billows outside, and I keep on looking for the sign of rain. The shirt has to dry. It will look good on me tomorrow. Tomorrow, what shall it be? I will wake up tomorrow, look at the walls around me and the clouds, and remember as I walk from the room to the window that there are other sounds. There are other windows. Perhaps I will think of a wondrous day. Perhaps I will write with the wonder of that day with my own modifiers. They shall be my day. It is the thought of one man making sense not of the world, but of the moments. When you read about my day, you, my reader, shall have, following Queenie, the second chance, another chance to understand my attempt at an ethnography of the everyday. Remove from it, you will see things, hear things, read your own wakefulness, your day, the shifting of little earths at your feet.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.